that the biggest thing holding you back wasn't your motivation. It isn't discipline, and it probably isn't your goals either. It's something you do every day, something a lot smaller, your habits. Because one bad day doesn't destroy your life. One missed workout doesn't automatically make you unhealthy. One wasted afternoon doesn't make you unsuccessful. But what happens when that one day becomes 100 days? What happens if the opposite is true? One page becomes a book. One workout becomes a better body. One small change can change your entire life if you do it every day. And that's the central idea behind James Clear's Atomic Habits. Imagine becoming 1% better each and every day. It sounds almost meaningless, right? 1% a day isn't going to change your life by tomorrow. But habits aren't about tomorrow. They're about what happens hundreds of thousands of times throughout your lifespan. Small improvements may seem insignificant, but over the course of your life, they can make a significant impact. And the same thing can be said about bad habits. Smoking every single day. One cigarette isn't going to kill you. Smoking a cigarette every single day might. Staying up one night isn't that bad, but staying up every single night and not getting enough sleeping hours is a problem. 1 hour scrolling on your phone doesn't seem that bad, does it? Until you watch your watch hours for the week and you see that you've spent 78 hours on TikTok. The danger is repetition. Think about an ice cube in a freezer. If the temperature is turning up 1 degree, you're not really gonna notice a difference. But if you change the temperature over 10 degrees over 10 days, your ice cube's gonna not be an ice cube anymore. Your habits work the same way. You're not gonna see these changes. You're not gonna see every day-to-day changes, but you will see them over the span of your lifetime. Sometimes you're just at a point where your results aren't visible all the time, and that's okay. That's not necessarily failure. The results of your habits are delayed, and that's why a lot of people struggle keeping up with good habits. Here is the most important idea in Atomic Habits by James Clear. Goals determine where you want to go, but systems determine if you're going to make it there. Everybody wants the outcome. Everyone wants to lose 20 pounds, make $1 million, eat healthier, but they don't have the systems to support that habit. Having a goal doesn't make you different from anyone else who has that goal. The thing that makes you different is actively trying to achieve that goal instead of dreaming about it. Two people can have identical goals and be living two completely different lives. Why? Their systems. One person could say, I want to write a book. The other person could actually take steps towards that and write 30 pages a day. One person could say that they want to start working out, getting healthier, and then one person actually gets the gym membership and goes 3 to 4 times a week. So instead of asking, what do I want? You should be asking yourself, what do the people who have what I want, what are they doing every day to obtain that? But Clear takes this further. The most powerful way to change your habits isn't to be focusing on what you want to achieve, but rather who you want to be. Changing your mindset on who you think you are. Instead of, oh, I need to take care of my body. Oh, I take care of my body. Instead of, I need to stop procrastinating, be somebody who says that they're gonna do what they said they were going to do. Every time you read, you're casting the identity of a reader. You are becoming a reader. Slowly, instead of being things that I have to do, they're becoming the things that you are, the things that determine who you are. Eventually, the habits stop becoming something that you're forcing yourself to do, and they become rather something that you enjoy doing. If you're a reader, you enjoy reading. If you want a healthier body, most people enjoy working out. They enjoy the satisfaction of taking care of themselves. So how do habits actually form? Clear separates them into 4 stages. Cue, something grabs your attention. Craving, you want an outcome. response, you perform the behavior. And finally, the reward. Your brain gets what it wanted. You hear a ding. That's the cue. The craving is to see who's liking my post, who's commenting, who's messaging me. The response is actually looking at your phone, and the reward is the dopamine that hits you whenever you get a notification of a new subscriber, a new comment, a new like. Your brain starts associating that dinging of your phone with dopamine. Cue, whenever you get home. Craving, your body craves nicotine. Response, you smoke. Reward, you get that flush of endorphins and all that fun stuff for a little bit, and then it goes away. But your brain is gonna start associating every single time you come home with doing that. So you need to change what you're doing. The cycle repeats itself, but good news is that it's a cycle. You learn how it works and you can change how you react to it. That's where the 4 laws of behavior come in. The first law is make it obvious. If you want to build a habit, don't depend on remembering that you want to do the habit. So you want a visual trigger. So for reading, you could put a book on your pillow. So whenever you go to bed at night, you're like, oh, I wanted to read, and you read before you go to bed. If you want to drink more water, fill your water bottle before you go to bed. Wake up, it's already made for you. This is also a great time to practice habit stacking. So say you want to drink more water and read. Maybe you always keep a water bottle with your book. Maybe you always keep them on your nightstand together. You can do easy little things, like if you want to journal more, put it right on your desk, put the pen on it, leave it on the page, an open page already opened for you. So you just have to sit down and it's ready to go. And this truly helps because you're not trying to start all new habits. Maybe you have a habit and you add on to it to be a better version of yourself, or maybe you just add a habit to your current habit. Like you want better balance, stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. There you go, that's an easy habit you could implement. So the second law is make it attractive. We obviously want to do things that we already like doing. So maybe if you want to exercise more, maybe you put your favorite songs in a workout playlist and it's ready to go on YouTube, on Spotify, whatever you have it on. Maybe for exercising, you really like listening to podcasts or documentaries or TV shows. How about you only watch TV shows when you're stretching, when you're at the gym, when you're working out, something like that. This is called temptation bundling, essentially bonding one thing with what you don't want to do with one thing that you do want to do. Also, don't forget your social environment. Whoever you're hanging around is going to directly impact you and what you think is normal. So if all your friends have 8+ hours of scroll time on TikTok, you probably think that's normal. The next law is making it easy. And this is where a lot of people struggle, making it easy. So many people are so overly ambitious. They want to do this. They want to do 10 new habits all at once, and they're going to go to the gym every single day. They're only going to eat salads. They're going to meditate for 30 minutes. But here's the thing, whenever you try to do so many of those at the same time, if one thing falls apart, like if you don't hit your hour gym time, the rest of the system is going to fall apart. If you are overwhelmed just thinking about it, it is going to overwhelm you. So instead of having these huge goals, like I'm going to write a chapter of my book every night, maybe you write a page. Maybe you write a paragraph. Maybe you set a timer and write for 10 minutes. This isn't necessarily even about changing your goals, it's changing your approach to the goals, making it easier for you to build those habits, to change your overall trajectory. Make it rewarding. So usually your habits are formed because of the dopamine hits based on your habits. So some of these habits aren't gonna have immediate changes. They're not gonna have immediate rewards for you. So that's why I would recommend keeping a visual, almost gamifying it in a way, like a little calendar. Every single day that I do my habits, I check it off. I check off each time that I work out, each time that I've read, each time that I journaled. I literally keep track of this because it's nice to see that streak. Whenever I hit 200 days of doing the same thing, I want to know I did 200 days of doing the hard things. How do you destroy a bad habit? So instead of making it obvious, you're making it invisible. If you want to quit smoking, you're gonna throw away all your cigarettes. You're going to hide them, you're going to give them away, you're going to get them out of sight, out of mind. Make it attractive. New principle, make it unattractive. If for smoking, for example, instead of imagining yourself being all cool smoking on the balcony, maybe watch some videos about people dealing with lung cancer. Maybe watch dental pictures. Maybe put those photos up near your cigarettes or near your balcony hangout where you like to smoke. Maybe put unattractive things there to deter you from doing that. Make it easy, make it difficult. If you're buying cigarettes or alcohol every single day, it's just easy. You go home, you go to the gas station on your way home. Maybe you stop going to the gas station. You stop going to the bar. Maybe whenever you hang out with your friends, maybe you straight up ask them if they could not do that activity around you. You want to make it difficult. You want to tell all your friends, don't give me a cigarette. You want to tell all your friends, don't let me do this. Don't make it difficult for yourself. If it's really that big of a struggle, maybe ask for help. Instead of making it satisfying, maybe make it unsatisfying. So say that you come home and you're so excited to have the stress relief of hanging out on the balcony. Well, maybe you do smoke a cigarette. Maybe instead of just continuing on your day, do something unsatisfying. Take a huge bite of garlic. Bite a raw onion. I don't know. Do something that is gross, that you're like, oh, so then every time that maybe you smoke a cigarette, every time you're biting an onion and you associate cigarettes with onions, maybe that's a deterrent for you. I don't know what works for you, what habits you have are going to determine that. Your environment is secretly controlling your habits as well. When your phone sits on your nightstand at night, whenever you hear a buzz, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna check it, you're gonna look at it. If your phone was in the other room where you couldn't hear it whenever it buzzed, you would get a good night's sleep. For example, TV. A lot of people who I know want to get rid of screen time for themselves, but they have an enormous 60-inch TV just in their living room, taking up the whole wall. I'm like, every time you come home, you're looking at that. Then you're like, wow, what a good TV. Maybe I should watch TV right now. Every time they're going into their house, they're like, wow, TV. And just seeing it, you want to turn it on. Maybe get rid of your TV. Maybe put a blanket over it. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you about what this book was about. If you put your book next to your bed, you're going to be reminded, hey, maybe I should read that. If you have your exercise clothes at the edge of your bed, hey, maybe I should remember to do that right now. He used those a lot. And this brings us to the real message of Atomic Habits. You don't need to completely reinvent yourself today, tomorrow, this week. You need to change your daily habits that you do every single day because small changes add up. That's essentially what this book is. Writing 1 page a day, eating 1 healthy meal, doing 10 minutes of meditation over the course of your life. That's going to change who you are. Eventually, your habits become automatic. You just wake up, you go grab a glass of water, you work out, you shower. You automatically do what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be doing. Most people want a dramatic transformation, and that's not what happens. It's boring, it's small. It's showing up every day. It's doing the same small things every day. If you work out for 10 hours tomorrow, it's still you're gonna look exactly the same, This book is essentially about giving you the mind, the idea, the concept of 1 step better every day. So don't ask yourself, how can I completely change my life and become someone else? What's 1 tiny thing that the person who I want to become would do today? And then you do it. It's that easy, it's that simple. That's the concept of the book. I really did like this book because I read it at a time where it made a drastic difference on how I interpreted the book, because it was in a point where I knew the goals, I dreamt, but I wasn't taking the steps. And that's my final thoughts on Atomic Habits by James Clear. Comment your theories, anything else that you took away from the book, and I'll see you next time.